All right, day 14. Made it 2 whole weeks without record shopping, and I just wanted to, I guess, really kind of talk about a few things. Well, here's day 13 for you there. You know how the drill works. You click on it, you can listen to yesterday's. Today we'll get a little personal on this one. I guess this is gonna be a longer one. I have a little bit of time. I really don't have any time to do this right now, but I'm gonna spend more time doing this because it's just um, it is. I'm going to be honest with you. The last 14 days, I mean, it's been fairly rough. I've come to realize that I guess really what record shopping is in my life, I think is really it is a really big escape for kind of the rest of the stuff that's going on, because I've had the last 2 weeks, like at work, have been absolutely ridiculous, and I don't know if it's just because, I mean, it's probably the same stuff that I've been going through and working through and all that, But I think without record shopping, that it's really making it like unbearable to a point. So I don't know. It's hard to say. So I don't. The thing about this is, I'm attempting to do 30 days. I can stop at any time. um, I don't know. We'll kind of see where this goes, and I don't know. I still may be able to go through it. It's just, I don't know. It's very strange, and I think it's just not doing any record shopping, and that's what it is. I mean, my job is, I mean, it is a super stressful job. I mean, it's kind of, I've been doing what I've been doing now probably for about like 5 years, and it's, you really have to become desensitized to a lot of things to be able to do it. There's a lot of people that can't do it. There's people that do it, and they only, you know, last maybe a month or two. Some people have just a ridiculous nervous breakdown, things like that. So I don't really want to say exactly what it is, but it's I don't know. It's weird, and a lot of it, I do have to take a lot of my, I guess a lot of my emotion and everything like that is very, very flatlined. I don't really, we don't really have any blips on the meters and things like that. And I don't know if that kind of comes across in the videos, but a big thing is my humor, and I mean that's sort of how I kind of, being able to get through things, and a lot of the problems that I encounter at work, it's sort of like, I guess I use humor to kind of, it's one of those things, like, it's like, did this really happen? And then I look at it, and it makes me laugh that even such a thing sort of exists in my life. So I don't know, but anyhow, so today is just, I kind of got up, I could barely pull myself out of bed today. I just didn't even want to, like, I don't know, it's weird. I mean, who knows, I don't know, maybe we'll pull the trigger soon. I don't know. Is it day 14 or is it no, it's day 14. I mean, that's the thing, it's just, I don't even, it's ridiculous. Anyhow, so an album that's really helping me get through this morning and everything like that. And it's kind of putting me in better spirits, and it's a group that have always been able to do this. And it's like, kind of as I was saying, this is sort of a little more personal one. I think it kind of even goes into, and Derek, I apologize, Fred, I want to do the threads, but just like I've been so busy and stuff like that. I got new stuff in the mail from people. I got to show it. Hopefully in the next couple of days I can do that. Probably tomorrow I'll get to it. But the album I'm about to show here sort of has a very kind of personal thing for me. My dad, my father, really didn't. I wasn't born into a good record collection. I mean, there was, I mean, he had some good stuff, and it's funny because it's, as kind of as we're talking and all that. I mean, he really never put an emphasis on music, I guess. Like, I mean, he listened to music, but he never, he never got to the point where of course I've taken it, I guess, and by any means. He had about a crate of records, and had a bunch of 8-tracks and things like that. And the other day we were going through his 8-tracks, and we were just sort of laughing at what he had in there, because it was very eclectic, and I never really, the more I kind of looked at it, I was like, man, he's all over the place. And I I don't know if it was just because I mean a lot of it was sort of like Moody Blues, the Days of Future Past. He had the Beatles, Hey Jude. He also had like Love Unlimited Orchestra, like Barry White and stuff like that. Um, um, Dan Hill, is that what that guy's name is? Guy sings Longer Fuse, I think is the name of the album. Anyhow, well, but this is one album that he had sort of this is actually his copy, so it kind of holds a special place in my collection. It is a greatest hits album. It's Farewell to the First Golden Era. It's by the Mamas and the Papas. This came out, I want to say like 68. This is all from the Monterey Pop Festival, the photo, so that would have been August of 67. So it just has all their kind of greatest hits from the, I guess, what you'd consider maybe the first three albums. The reunion album was really the only, they broke up after this, which is just very, very strange, where they're saying the first golden era. It's almost like they're talking that, there was going to be a second golden era. But this copy that I have is just, it's just beat because, when I was, 10, 11 years old, something like that, my dad, he busted out his record player, and he always had a record player around, but really didn't listen to music. I think one thing though that I definitely took away from what my dad taught me is just like music is very important. Like it's like, it's music always has been there, and always something that I've sort of excelled at. I can play guitar. I can play a couple different instruments. I can play bass, whatever. It's the same basic thing. You know what I mean? Piano. It's one of those things where I can sit down at and I can do it. And I think it's really with him giving me that emphasis, and also my mother pushing me to do things and stuff like that. But the tracks on this album, it's mostly the singles, dedicated to the one I love, Go Where You Want to Go, Words of Love, Look Through My Window, Dancing in the Street, Monday, Creaky Alley, Got a Feeling, 12:30, Girls Are Coming to the Canyon, I Call Your Name, I Saw Her Again Last Night, California Dreaming. Each song on here is just a huge song. The Mums and the Papas produced by Lou Adler on the Dunhill label. I believe a lot of the Wrecking Crew did a lot of their stuff, like Hal Blaine, Carol Kay. So it's just that sound, it's just an amazing sound to me. And it's something where it's a very, very familiar song. So I've always liked to seek out artists that have utilized it, like Barry McGuire, Johnny Rivers. I like to listen to that kind of stuff. And it was because of this. And, and my father really taught me a lot of these songs have a lot of kind of deeper meaning, because it was always like, one thing he would always do is sort of like quote stuff from some of the Mamas and the Papas stuff. So it'd be like I'd be talking about doing something, and of course he'd say, well, you got to go where you want to go, do what you want to do. And of course, there was definitely a conversation about I Saw Her Again Last Night. So we don't really need to go into that, but I'm sure that you can figure that out. But I don't know. This album I always seem to kind of revisit the Mamas and the Papas, because to me they're very. I wouldn't say they're a guilty pleasure, because I really don't feel guilty listening to them. But at the same time, it's like, the songs that they do are just, they're just fantastic. They had really perfect songs. The arrangement was really good. The harmonies. It's just so weird, because if you listen to, if you kind of listen to how the harmonies go, like it's almost like it's sort of like, who's carrying the lead, I guess you could say. It just goes through the band. So it's not like one person sings the lead, or even if you think about California Dreaming. Denny kind of sings the majority of the song, but if you really listen to it, I think it's a really hard song to pull off as one person, because you really where the vocals are kind of going, they're kind of going up and down, and maybe something where Cass is singing something and then down to John, and what I mean. It just is. They really, I would say it's almost like Beach Boys. I think the Beatles had pretty good harmonies too, but for what they perfected it. I think it really, as far as with a male female kind of thing. But this is just, all these songs are just great hits, just fantastic. I love it. if you're not into the Mums and the Pampas, and I would say if you're going to explore the albums, I mean, obviously the Mums and the Pampas Deliver, If You Can Believe Your Eyes and Ears, and then I believe it's just the Mums and the Pampas, which I think it's their second album. I want to say it's the one where they're kind of sitting in a doorway. So I mean, each one of those is just fantastic. Those albums are just loaded. There's a little bit of filler on them, but this is just an album for me, just all killer, no filler. You know what I mean? It's just every album is a straight hit. And I pulled it out and I was like listening to it, and I was like, the copy is just terrible. I mean, when you're 11 years old and you're listening to this, and it's, of course you're gonna ruin it. So I'll probably see if I can seek this out. So that's one thing that's been pretty cool about not buying any records for the last couple of days, is just really looking at some of this awesome stuff that I have, and when I see it in the record store, I don't buy it because I know I already have it, but it's really given me the ability to go back and listen to it and be like, oh well, this one has a pretty bad click in this part, or whatever the case may be. I mean, that's definitely something that happened with this one. So, but we're gonna power through it. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. So take care.